At my age, people expect me to sit quietly and count my savings. But every once in a while, something comes along so important that even an old investor pays attention. Right now, one event has captured the imagination of investors worldwide: the possibility of a SpaceX IPO. Space rockets? Satellites? Mars? What does any of that have to do with your money? More than you think. But before I get into that, 3 mistakes will cost most investors a fortune. The same mistakes made for over a century. Let me take you back to 1849. Gold Rush, California. Thousands sold their homes, borrowed money, and risked everything chasing gold. Most came back broke. But you know who got rich? Not the miners. The guy selling shovels, the guy selling boots, the guy selling supplies. While everyone looked at the gold, the smart money quietly looked at the infrastructure around it. The same thing happened during the railroad boom. The same thing during the internet boom. The same thing during the smartphone revolution. The fortunes were rarely made where everyone was looking. History doesn't repeat exactly, but it rhymes. And right now, history is rhyming again. SpaceX is not just a rocket company. It may be building the next economic layer of human civilization. Satellite internet reaching every corner of the planet, global communications, defense systems operating from orbit, space transportation that treats the cosmos like a highway for commerce. Analysts believe the space economy could reach trillions of dollars over the coming decades. Not millions, not billions, trillions. We may be at the beginning of an industry future generations will consider as essential as electricity or the internet. And when opportunities become this enormous, people become dangerously emotional. Most investors become obsessed with the IPO. They convince themselves that buying on day one guarantees a fortune. But here is the dirty secret Wall Street will never put in a headline. By the time you can buy, the easy money is already gone. The venture capitalists, the early investors, the insiders, they already made their 10x, 50x, 100x returns. The IPO is not the beginning for them, it is their exit. And the retail investor standing in line on day one is the person they are selling to. The public believes the IPO is the starting line. Many times, it is the finish line for the people who matter. Excitement is not a strategy. Hype is Wall Street's most profitable product. Mistake number 2, missing the ecosystem entirely. No great company operates alone. Every giant depends on suppliers and partners most investors never think about. 3 companies almost nobody is discussing, but perhaps should be. RTX Corporation. Most people associate it with military aircraft, but RTX quietly supplies the aerospace backbone nearly every space and defense operation depends on. Sensors, communications equipment, guidance systems. Not glamorous, but necessity-driven businesses have a long history of rewarding patient investors, regardless of which company dominates the headlines. L3 Harris Technologies. You have never mentioned this name at a dinner party. That is precisely what makes it interesting. It operates in the background of communications, satellite systems, and defense infrastructure, the silent supplier the connected world depends on. As the space economy expands, the network supporting it tends to expand alongside it. Rocket Lab. Far smaller than SpaceX, but smaller can mean faster and more flexible. Already in the game. If this industry grows dramatically, smaller players sometimes capture disproportionate rewards. None of these are guaranteed. Every investment carries risk. That has always been true of every opportunity worth taking seriously. Mistake number 3 will cost the most people the most money, and almost no one ever talks about it. Not technology risk, not valuation, psychology, your own psychology. IPOs create something dangerous in the human brain, the feeling of certainty where none exists. People stop analyzing, they start imagining. They tell themselves this is the next Amazon, the next once-in-a-generation opportunity, and I cannot miss it. That thought alone has destroyed more investor wealth over the past century than any market crash ever could. Because markets are not logic machines, they are emotion machines. Fear drives prices below reality. Greed drives prices beyond reason. And IPOs are specifically designed to generate maximum greed at maximum price. Patience matters more than prediction. The greatest investors were not the ones who found the best companies. They were the ones who survived long enough to let those companies prove themselves. Now step back, because this story is much larger than SpaceX. When railroads appeared, people thought they were buying transportation. They were really buying economic transformation that reshaped entire continents. When electricity arrived, people thought they were buying power. They were really buying a revolution that built the modern world. When the internet came, people thought they were buying faster communication. They were really buying a rewiring of human civilization. And today, when people look at SpaceX, most see rockets. But perhaps they are looking at the next layer of human civilization. A future where communications become truly global, where the limits geography once imposed disappear. Will all of this happen exactly as people imagine? Of course not. There will be failures, setbacks, crashes, but progress has a stubborn habit of continuing despite every obstacle in its path. The people who succeed will not be the smartest or the fastest, patient when everyone else panics, calm when everyone else gets greedy, disciplined when everyone else chases headlines. Because investing has never really been about stocks or charts. It's about behavior. It has always been about behavior. After everything I've seen over a lifetime in markets, one truth stands above every other. The biggest risk in any investment is never the investment itself. It is the investor. If this changed the way you think about money, follow for more. Because the lessons that built generational wealth are the same ones Wall Street hoped you would never discover.